Hello everyone, I hope that you have been enjoying lesson 6 so far and that you're looking forward to some feedback on your I Believe papers. Now I have provided feedback to some of you already, but for the most of you, you can be expecting that in the next day or so, maybe 3 days, but I promise it's coming. Now, I wanted to take just a couple of moments to talk about some things that are going on this week and some helpful hints for you. So let's go ahead and start that. Now, for our paragraph and essay development, we're primarily talking about acknowledging the opposite point of view when in your critical thinking essays, as well as bringing focus and unity to your papers. Now, there are some great videos to watch on that this week, so I don't want to spend too much time on that, but I do want to share one tip, something that we're not really sure where to put the acknowledgement of the opposite viewpoint. So I want to kind of just break down what I have found to work well. And basically, you can think of your paper as if it is saying, dogs are better than cats. Here are all of the reasons why. And then you list them. Here's reason 1, here's reason 2, here's reason 3. And here's a personal example as well to support this claim. Next, after you've given all of that support for your claim, then you acknowledge. You say, now there are some people who think cats are better because of this reason. And immediately you want to refute that. You say, however, they're really missing the point that dogs are better because of this reason. Now, this reason may be you recapping the reasons that you've already said, but either way, you want that to happen very, very briefly. You want to refute the opposite side almost as quickly as you present it. And then you want to go ahead into a strong conclusion that will really bring your point back home. And you're doing this to say, yes, other viewpoints do exist. I'm aware of that, but here we want to focus on this because this is my claim. So remember to keep it brief. Remember to have it appear right before a strong conclusion, and you should be good to go. Now, I want to talk about something else that happened this week. On Sunday, I had the opportunity to go to the largest Latter-day Saint gathering in Arizona in history. It was, as you can see here in the picture, it was at the Arizona Cardinals Stadium, so the football stadium, and the place was packed. You had to get there hours before to have even to get into your reserve seats. And it was amazing to be in the presence of so many saints, and everyone just stood, and there was such a strong spirit as the prophet walked out and came up to the podium, and we were able to hear some wonderful messages. And I want to share just a little bit of kind of my takeaway from the prophet's message, because it really was an amazing experience to be able to be there. The thing that he seemed to focus on most was an invitation to us to choose now to be a part of the great army that is gathering Israel on both sides of the veil. And I found it very interesting that he took the time to point out that the gathering of Israel is happening on both sides of the veil to prepare for the coming of the Savior. And as I thought about that, I kept thinking about the gathering that I can do on the other side of the veil. Because of course we have missionary work here, and that's very important, and we want to be part of that effort. But the fact that there could be missionary work on the other side of the veil that we could help with. And I started thinking about that, and my family had a discussion about it. And we decided that there were a few things that we could do, and I'd love to extend this invitation to you so that you can be a part of this gathering of Israel as well. Now, real quick, this quote says that the shortest distance between truth and a human being is a story. Now, I love that. If you think about it, the easiest way for us to learn and absorb truth is through a story. Is there any wonder that we've had storytellers from the beginning of civilization? Now, the reason I bring up this quote, you may be wondering, it's because our ancestors have these wonderful stories. And as I've been looking at my family tree and looking for names to bring to the temple, I've been coming across so many amazing stories. And I want to share some of that with you. And I want you to be able to discover those as well. So here, an invitation to join me as I follow the prophet and try to turn my heart towards my ancestors. Here are a couple of ways I'm going to be doing this, and perhaps you could this week as well. First, take some time to look for family names that you can either take or send to the temple. It's a true blessing to be able to do work for your ancestors, but anytime that you can get a name to the temple, whether you're the one doing the work or not, it really is a victory, and it's helping to gather Israel on that side of the veil. Now, next, try talking to your parents or your grandparents or any family members you have to discover stories that you may not know about your ancestors. And then, if you're willing, please take a few moments to comment on this post with a story of one of your ancestors. You don't have to go back too far. If it's difficult for you to find reliable information on, 5 generations past, don't worry about that. You can share a story that stood out to you about even a parent. Personally, I'm going to be sharing a story about my great-grandma Millicent. As a little teaser, she was quite a character. She was actually in the circus for a while. She was a foot juggler, and she holds a world record. But you'll have to check in the comment section on this post to see what she holds the record for. Now, I would love to hear about your families and to see you delving in and turning your heart to your ancestors and joining the prophet in this initiative that he has extended to all of us. I hope that you're having a wonderful week. I look forward to reading the rest of your papers and to seeing your comments on this post and getting to know about where you're from and the great stories that came before you. Thanks so much for your time and have a wonderful week.